All right, all right, all right. How's it going, guys? And welcome back. Welcome back to another week of live stream. So another question, another live stream, another question being asked and getting answered. So how's it going? As you guys know, we do these things live. So if you're watching this in the future, I apologize, for a bit of the long intro. But right now, since we're doing this live, just waiting for the whole thing to kick in. Make sure that we are actually live. Make sure that we got the viewers coming in, and we got all systems on. Everything's going. So shout out to everyone out there. In today's episode, in today's video, we're going to be talking about pet insurance in Mexico. Is there pet insurance in Mexico? If there is it worth it? Does Lambo have pet insurance? And so on and so forth. So we're going to be talking about all that, the benefits, the negatives, and all that good stuff. So shout out to everyone out there. We got a bunch of questions, we're going to be asking. We got a bunch of questions we're going to be answering that you guys have asked me. And this is the first video of today. So shout out to everyone out there. All right, so we got Tales from the Leash out there in the chat already, saying wonderful. We have wondered if we had insurance like we do back in the States. And we got Meggie. Thanks for answering my question. Shout out to Meggie. So Meggie is the one that asked me, to answer today's question. So shout out to Meggie out there for providing the funds for me to answer this question, not just for her, but for everyone out there in the audience. All right. So for more information on how we do all that, we'll talk about it at the end of this video. But let's just get right into it. It seems like we did enough of an intro, so let's just get right into it. So, as you know, for some of these questions, sometimes I got to do research or extra research, or sometimes I can just kind of like answer it off the top of my head. This is one of the questions where I had to do a little bit of research. I had to go out there and explore a little bit of, what is out there, if there is anything out there, and how all that works. Now, we have a veterinarian, the one that takes care of Lambo and Gizmo, and he is basically kind of like a family friend. So right off the bat, when I got this question asked, he was one of the first persons that I talked to about this. I also did my own research to get some more answers and all that good stuff. And so basically, from everything I gathered, it seems to me, all right, that the medical insurance for pets out here is basically the kind of similar to how it is in the USA, and very similar to how it's for humans out here in Mexico. So we're going to get into that. But in order to answer the question, which is there pet insurance in Mexico? The answer is yes, a resounding yes. I was pretty surprised by the options. And we're going to go into that, where I'm going to show you the options and everything I found, and we're going to be talking about that. But we're also going to be talking about, well, is it worth it or not? So that's like a major component. So let's just look into see if we have it or not. So when I did a quick Google search, by the way, this is a quick tip for everyone out there in the audience, okay, that is trying to Google search anything or search things on Facebook when it pertains to things in Mexico. In order for you to get the really best, awesome results, do it in Spanish. Think about it. You know what I mean? Again, you're searching for something in a Spanish-speaking country. Why would they have it in English? Look, I know with technology today, you can type it in English in Google and it will give you local results, and it will oftentimes translate it for you. But come on, the reality is that I learned this the hard way. Basically, I search for everything and anything of importance out here in Mexico in Spanish in order to get the optimum results. So when I typed in insurance, pet insurance, seguro para mascotas en Mexico. So basically, pet insurance in Mexico. When I did a search on that, I got a gazillion results. Okay, And so here is BBVA, which is a bank. Okay. And insurance is also done a little different out here. But long story short, anyways, long story short, BBVA, which is a major Mexican bank, they have, pet insurance, okay? And then if you go down through here, they go, they explain everything. Oh, look, they even have a video. Look at that, telling you how to get it all done, okay? So BBVA has theirs. Now, their website is in Spanish at the moment. Other websites I've been able to translate. So, I'm trying to just make this easier on you guys. I want to show you the options. But BBVA offers insurance for just about anything. So I was not surprised that they were one of the first ones to also offer pet insurance, okay? But then as I went on, I saw GNP Seguros. I've never really heard of GNP, but they also have pet insurance. And by the way, as I was going through this, I was pretty impressed, by the coverage. I've never really had pet insurance in the USA. I've never had pet insurance ever. So I don't know what it covers or how similar it is to the USA, but it seems like it covers everything. Everything from dog bites to, whatever, anything that could happen. All right. And then here's Manfre. I think, again, this is a Mexican company. And here, I think it's some in Spanish, some in English. But anyways, okay. So, and then we got another one, Liverpool. So again, for some of you guys that know, Liverpool is, a very super high end store in Mexico. They got locations all over. They're like Macy's, they're like very high end. So again, not surprising that they have pet insurance. So now let's talk about this because, I kind of wanted to end here with Liverpool to kind of make the point as to who actually has pet insurance in Mexico. Well, again, it's basically the people that can afford pet insurance in Mexico are the people that shop at Liverpool on a regular basis, okay? So, how it works is like this. Most people in Mexico, they treat their pets very differently. They love their pets. It is part of the family, all this other stuff. But, for example, I've said it multiple times. There are plenty of people here that, for example, they have a pet and they got to go to work, every single day, 8 to 10 hours a day. And instead of leaving the dog, stuck in the home all day long while they're out and about doing their job, what they actually do, a lot of Mexicans do, is that they let the dog just roam the neighborhood and live and hang out in the neighborhood all day long. And the dog knows when the owner goes to work, and the dog knows when the owner comes back from work. So when he comes back from work, the dog is usually there to greet him, as he's coming home, and spends the rest of the night and, with the owner until the next day when they both got to go to work. You know what I'm saying? So, that's just one example of many. And, the reality is that most people don't have insurance, for pets. When you ask them or talk to them about this, to a typical Mexican, they're going to be like, what? I don't even have insurance. What do you mean my pet's going to have insurance? So, it's very unlikely that a lot of Mexicans will have insurance for their pets, in Mexico, but it is a thing. And obviously, we can see that there's multiple companies out there, all right, that are offering pet insurance. So obviously, it's a thing. Now, from when I was talking to the veterinarian that is more well versed with this, the reality is that, if you are in Mexico, most of the time the veterinarian is going to be someone, a doctor, that's going to come to your house, or you might go to their what is it? Their consultory, what is it? Their medical consult place? Anyways, their office. There, jeez. Sorry, my English not so good sometimes, okay? Anyway, so, to the medical office. And at the end of the day, most of the time, just like everything else in Mexico, you're going to be paying in cash. And not just paying in cash, but if, the more informal the vet is, the less likely they're going to be accepting insurance of any kind. Because again, I don't have to get onto all the details, as to how difficult it is as a business owner having to do things like accept insurance, for example. You know what I mean? Like Again, you're treating the pet today in order to get, and then you get paid by the insurance company, God knows when. So, I mean, just to give you an example, all right, as to why a lot of people in Mexico, many businesses, prefer just cash only because it's an immediate payment for service or item as opposed to waiting for the payment, to come from the bank or to come from an insurance company or what have you. So with that being said, if you're going to get pet insurance, most likely you're going to be taking your pet to someone that will take pet insurance, okay? And so most likely anyone that's going to be accepting pet insurance, okay, they're going to be costing more, okay? Again, this is, just think about it. It's just a little bit more it's just common sense in a sense, because remember, these people have to pay more. They got to pay more in taxes. They got to pay more for their office. They got to pay more for so many things. So they got to pay more for the luxury of being able to accept pet insurance and all this other stuff. Okay. So that's like a very real thing. So the reality is that most people, they end up, not getting insurance, and the cost, for medical care for your pet is so low. Again, if it's very low for the humans, imagine how low it is for the pet. It's basically the same price in a sense, for many cases. And you don't really got to worry too much about pet care. You'll be able to have a doctor, visit your pet, once a month if you want, and it's not going to cost you an arm and a leg. You know what I mean? So no matter what state your pet is in, you'll be able to get, optimum medical care for them without a problem, without needing insurance. Now, I know in certain situations, okay, when it came to, what Meggie was talking about, that, Meggie, the person asking me this question today, shout out to her. She, basically had a situation where her pet got very sick and, had to go through the cancer treatments and all this other stuff. And so in cases like that, then yes, just like, you as a human in Mexico, you have a similar situation, then you're most likely going to want to get insurance. But again, insurance is very different out here. So sometimes it won't cover those things anyway, whether it was a pre-existing condition or not, and all this other stuff. So, a lot of people just end up paying out of pocket for the most part, but it's not something that's going to really, hinder you to the point where it does in the United States, for example. Now, what is pet insurance? Seems like it's what it's more for in Mexico. Again, as it says, we're going to read just to give you an example here. Okay, remember, this is translated. Okay. So again, diseases and accidents, did he do a prank? Remember, this is loosely translated. This means, did, the dog go to the neighbor's house? And again, what it says there, did he destroy some property? Did he bite a neighbor? Whatever, assist and benefits, funeral expenses, things like that. But look, let me give you an example. Okay, I used to know some guy that, when he moved out here, he got himself a little dog. Now, this little dog, unfortunately, had a temper, and he was always biting people. In fact, every couple months, he was biting a Mexican. Like literally, he goes, oh yeah, man, the other day I was walking my dog, and he bit another Mexican. And I'm like, bro, what do you... Anyways, so long story short, every single time that something would happen, he usually would be able to get out of it. Okay, I'm talking about biting a kid, biting a human, but he would be able to get out of it with just some cash. Like literally, hey, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry that my dog bit you. How much? 500 pesos, 1,000 pesos, whatever. And that's basically it. And that's always going to be it. Now, if you're living in certain parts of Mexico, in certain parts of like say Mexico City, and you're living in, with a lot of expats, you might be living with a lot of rich, fifi, very hoity-toity, you know what I'm saying? Like the upper class Mexican society or other people in Mexican society that are in the upper class. Yeah, it might be best, to like not just get the insurance, but it's going to be a little different. You're not going to be able to buy those people off with 500 pesos. They're going to want to, hey, do you got insurance? Hey, I'm going to sue you. Hey, who knows? I don't know. All right. It might get a little bit more complicated, but the reality is that, look, we can just look at the complete plans here just to give you an example. All right. You guys can read that on the website real quick, on the screen. Sorry, while I look at the chat. By the way, I see Henry with the $5 super chat. Shout out to you. Thank you very much. Muchas gracias. All right, let's see. Okay, I'm gonna read some of the comments here. Okay, let me see. Tales from the Leech, expat dog life. Is that? Oh yeah, that's your whole. Sorry, that's your whole name. All right. Anyways, they say I had an amazing vet and that was very affordable in Merida. I have not found that here in Puebla yet. And this week, me and my burner had a street dog follow us home, and he's loving it. Awesome. Okay. I just fought lymphoma for a year with my sweet dog. That's Meggie talking. Lost him in February. It cost $40,000. Yes, really. The insurance covered 36,000 US. We are getting a new pup, and we will have. We will be. We'll bring a new pup in Mexico. Okay. I always submitted claims myself to the insurance, paid the vet directly. Okay, interesting. Thank you, Meggie. Yeah, because I don't know how that works in the U.S. Anka MC says, I do dog rescue in Mexico. Veterinary costs are not that expensive. We usually get dogs spayed and neutered for $25. Thank you for that information. And by the way, if you have any more information to add on this topic, please let us know. I appreciate this. Tales from the Leash says, we have a state-of-the-art 24-hour emergency veterinary hospital, 5-minute walk from my house. And by the state-of-the-art, I also mean that they have U.S. prices, but definitely nice. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Okay. But yeah, long story short, for me, it depends on your situation. I think in most situations, if you got a young, healthy dog, you're not going to need insurance. You'll be able to get away, just like, most people get away with not getting any kind of insurance, for themselves or for their pet. But if your dog is getting older, if your dog is going to have some sort of problems, if your dog is, definitely sick or what have you, it might be a good idea to look into the insurance. But again, make sure that it's going to be able to cover, you'll be able to get coverage from that insurance, and that also make sure that whatever doctor that you go to or whatever doctor is going to be treating your pet, that they accept that insurance. Okay, because I don't have that much experience with that, but I sincerely doubt, I do have experience with it, but to the point where I sincerely doubt that, just a typical Mexican veterinarian is going to be accepting any kind of insurance. The accepting of the insurance is going to be maybe at the PetSmart doctor or the doctor at, whatever fancy schmancy, pet hospital or what have you. And in which case, you're going to want to have insurance because it's probably going to be too expensive anyway for you to pay. Out of pocket. But for in most cases, you can pay out of pocket no matter what it is. So, but see, look, it says, one never expect to use it. If it happens, we will reimburse you for the expense generated by the funeral expense for up to 2,000 pesos. Think about it. So you're getting insurance, okay? And they're going to cover up to 2,000 pesos. Again, what is 2,000 pesos in today's... at today's, horrible exchange rate, you know what I mean? Let me see. Hold on. Let's see. So 2,000 pesos it's 120 bucks, okay? Oh, sorry. Right? There we go. Okay, so 120 bucks. 118.77, whatever. So 120 bucks. So let's you're paying the insurance, which I don't know how much it's going to cost you here. But and they're going to just cover that. Let's say that let's say an expense, disease, accidents. See, look, up to, okay. So this is up to right here, up to 30,000 pesos. So what is 30,000 pesos? Okay, this is the max coverage. Okay, it's under 1,800. Okay, so just so you get an idea, it might not be worth it at all because again, you spent more. Out of pocket. Even with the insurance covering $36,000, and you still had to pay $4,000. Out here, the insurance, the max is going to cover is $1,781. At today's exchange rate. All right, which the reality is, think about it. Like whatever is going to happen to your pet, it's not. If that's the max coverage, I mean, so then expect that that's going to be the max you're going to pay. You know, you're going to be paying 2,000. So is it worth it? You know what I mean? Because think about how much you're going to be paying for insurance every month. So, and I mean, that's what I found with even regular medical insurance for humans. You know, something very similar, where you kind of start doing the math and you're like, all right, you know, maybe this is, you know, maybe I could just pay out of pocket, you know, take care of my health, and you know, unless I have some crazy insane disease, it's totally not worth it. And even then, it's only going to cover X amount, you know, assuming that they even want to cover it. So, so Meggie, okay, so it says, are things like ultrasounds, chemo not that expensive? They're honestly, they're not. You know what I mean? That's the thing too. For humans, they're not. So, you know, obviously for pets, they're not either. So that's the thing. I mean, I've covered it many times when I've said that, you know, I think like getting 2 MRIs, you know, for my knees, you know, came out to like $1,000 or less, you know. You know, where it's like, that's like the doctor's visit, you know what I mean? To just get an appointment to get an MRI in the USA. So just saying, I don't know. But I mean, look, I have Gizmo. I have a dog, okay? And we, you know, got to see the vet from time to time. And it's never expensive. It's never, ever been expensive. You know, nothing medical-wise has ever been expensive here. Everything has always been very affordable. And as okay, in the chat, your people are Tales from the Leash is saying in the U.S. you pay up front with pet insurance and then e-file your claim. Yeah, so yep. Oh, there you go, Maggie. See, look, 1,000 pesos for chemo treatment, X-rays. I don't remember. I just paid 500 pesos for a parasite test and medication. Yeah. So again, you know, let's just do the exchange rate real quick. So what is 1,000 pesos? You know, 1,000 pesos for chemo is, no, hold on. What does it say there? No, sorry. Yeah, sorry. I'm having a little brain fart on my computer here. Okay, so look, $60, okay? $60 per chemo treatment out of pocket, okay? So I think that's pretty affordable, but I have no idea. So, and then yeah, so those prices are pretty accurate, you know, sometimes even cheaper. In fact, you're gonna come to the conclusion once you're out here, same for humans, is that the most expensive thing is medicine more than anything else. And again, even though the medicine is extremely cheap out here, that's it. I mean, just because, you know, some medicines are expensive, even though they're, you know, 99% cheaper here in Mexico for the most part, you know. But still, you know, that's it. And that's the surprising thing, you know, meaning you'll pay like, I don't know, you know, 10, 20 bucks, you know what I mean, to go see the doctor. And then the medicine is going to be 25 bucks, you know what I mean, 30 bucks, 40 bucks. That's it. I've noticed that the medical care and veterinary care in Mexico is better. Yes, I totally agree. So, I really hope that this video answered all your questions. Like I said, you know, there is pet insurance, you know, just like there's all kinds of insurance out there. But the reality is that, you know, from doing research, you know, talking to, you know, my vet, you know, talking to other individuals out there, you know, the only people that really have insurance, you know, are the people that are just, you know, the upper echelon of, you know, of society in Mexico. And, you know, it's more like a status symbol than anything else. You know what I mean? It's not really a thing, you know what I mean? Because for the most part, you know, let's look at this insurance. You know, let me, let me see. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't even, yeah, it's the same thing. It doesn't even talk. It doesn't even give you any details here. So, let me see this one here. But yeah, it's not. Yeah, these are all things that you can just, you know, again. See, look, the restrictions. what dogs we do not insure. Dogs that got in a fight. Fight dogs. Guard dogs for protection. Narcotic detection dogs. Whatever. Anyways, so. Anywho. Oh, okay. Let me see here. All contracting of pet insurance and has series of requirements. Okay. From 6 months to 7 years of age. Okay, so they're offered to pets that are 6 months to 7 years of age. Maximum renewal up until 12. They won't renew past 12 years old, okay? Animal must have vaccination card, deworming, and a photograph before hiring. Before whatever. Remember, this translated from Spanish, right? For insurance amounts greater than 15,000 pesos, microchipped and or tattoo a pedigree. So, yeah. Which again, 15,000 pesos, that's half of what Liverpool was offering, which is 30,000 pesos. And look at all that stuff that they're requiring. I don't think that they require all that in Liverpool. But yeah, anyways. In fact, in Liverpool, they give you a vaccination and deworming. They give them free baths. See, it seems like Liverpool has a better... And again, you can see, because look, for example, the bank and then these other look, Manfred and GNP, they're just regular insurance, and they're just like offering pet insurance. Yeah, you want pet insurance? Yeah, no problem. We'll insure your lizard or whatever you got. But see, the people at Liverpool, since they're dealing with high-class individuals, the clients that are actually going to buy this, they know their client very well. And so they are, offering them the things that they know their clients are going to want. You know what I mean? And they understand, you know what I mean, that their clients are going to pay for it, because, it's like, for example, let's say that you're a Mexican housewife and, you're talking to your other Mexican housewife friend and you're like, oh yes, today I gotta go take puppy, I gotta take Rover, for his annual rabies and deworming, because Liverpool just sent me a notification that I gotta go take him to the doctor because blah blah blah. It's like, oh, Liverpool, why would they say? Oh, because I have pet insurance with Liverpool. It's like, I mean, just picture it, bro. I mean, when once you're out here, that it's like, I trust me, I get all the gizmos things, and it doesn't cost me anything, all right? It costs me whatever the medicine cost me at the store, all right? I deworm it myself, all right? Anyways, well, actually, Christian does it, but you know what I'm saying. So, yeah, so I don't know, man. So to me, again, I did a video similar to this on human insurance, and, it was eerily similar in the sense of like, once you really start looking into what they cover, it's like, wait a minute, I can just cover this myself for a few pennies on the dollar. Why am I paying for insurance, So, anyways. Hey, man, I got insurance on my lizard. Don't make fun of that. My little salamander, all right? Call him Sally. Anyways, all right. But I think today's episode basically sums it all up. You know what I mean? I think I really appreciate you guys in the chat today. You guys really did help a lot. Filling in the gaps. When it came to talking about this subject. But yeah, long story short, you know what I mean? Yes, there's pet insurance. But most likely than not, you're gonna be able to afford it to pay for your pet's care, no matter how severe it is. You'll be able to do it out of pocket, just like you do, for your own care. And then, once it gets to a certain point, then you look into insurance. But even then, again, you'll be surprised. So, really, again, this is more for, like, let's say you already got an older pet that's going to be seeing the vet a lot, and you might have a certain income level, whatever. You know what I mean? That's really when you're going to want something like this. And again, just like we saw from this one, from the Manfred one, it's like, once it's 12 years or older, they're out of luck, This seems kind of ageist to me, But anyways, I digress. I think today's episode, was pretty thorough enough. But again, if you guys have any more questions, or you want me to touch on anything else that I didn't get to touch on, let me know in the chat real quick while I do the outro and we, get ready for the next question that we're gonna answer the next episode. All right. So for the new viewers out there that have not seen this format before, what we do on the channel is that every single Thursday I like to answer 3 questions that are brought to me by you, the audience. So basically how it works is that you, the audience, have questions and you want me to answer them for you, and you guys want a thorough answer as opposed to just a quick little answer. So what you do is that you simply, click on the link that I provide in the chat, click on the link that I provide in the description and in the comment section, and it will take you directly to my website, okay? And on my website, it'll take you straight to this page on my website, okay, where it's personalized consultations. It's gonna take you straight over here, and then you're gonna see me again. I know, right? You just can't get enough of me, right? You're gonna see me again, and I'm gonna be explaining to you how all this works. But simply put, how it works is that you write me an email, all right? Ask me a question. Depending on the complexity of the question will depend on the donation price, of said question. And this way I get to help you out, by answering your question very thoroughly. I get to make a video that you get to participate in, just like Meggie participated in today. Shout out to her. And at the same time, you get to provide something that's going to help the rest of the audience out there, because now this video is going to live on the internet forever and other people will be able to, benefit from it. Okay. And again, you can just come to my website or go straight to my YouTube page, and you're going to find all the videos of all the questions that I've answered already in the past, and you'll be able to see if your question has already been answered, and if it hasn't, well, you get to ask it and we can go from there. Okay. So again, you could just scroll through here and see I've talked about all kinds of subjects, and I will be talking about all kinds of subjects. And today, this is the first video in today's this is the first question I'm answering in today's Thursday live stream, whatchamacallit. And we're about to move on to the next question. So if you are here right now watching this and you want to be around for the next one, well, just go to my YouTube page. Again, just click on the face of me and my wife there. Go to my YouTube page and then click on this one, which is, the next one up in line here. Will Mexico ever get too expensive to live in? I got a feeling a lot of you guys, want to know the answer to this one. So just click on there. Look, we already got people in the audience waiting. All right. So click on there. All right. I'm going to meet you guys there in a few seconds. All right. And we're going to talk about this subject. So the video starts in 9 minutes. All right. But you guys can just start, heading over there as I end this one. All right. And we will talk about that subject. And then after that subject, well, guess what? We got another subject. Okay. So another viewer asked me, why do I live in Mérida, Yucatan? Why do I choose to live here? Why did I pick here? So we're going to talk about that as well. Okay. So, all right, guys, I'm going to wrap this bad boy up. We're going to give a big shout out to Meggie out there. Shout out to her for the donation and the question. Shout out to her for the participation. Shout out to everyone out there in the audience, in the chat, participating as well. Shout out just everyone. Shout out to everyone out there. Let me see if I missed any more questions before I head out. Jay Vol says, how hard is it to find pet-friendly rentals? Very easy. That's a great question, but honestly, very easy. In fact, it's the opposite here as it is in the USA. So what you're going to find out here is that more likely than not, more places will accept your pet than not, because most Mexicans have a pet. Okay. And so since most Mexicans have a pet, or they have it, whether they have the pet, just a regular pet, or they have it for security, like Gizmo acts, double duty, triple duty. All right. He guards the garden from, pest, he guards, the front door from pest. And at the same time, he's a lovable, part of the family. And so with all that said, it's just, pets are just part out here. So it's not a big deal. All right. Let me see. I think that thing is done. I think there's no more questions, and that's it. So, all right, I think we're good there. So, all right, guys, thanks again for watching today's episode, for watching today's live stream. I really hope to see you at the next live stream, which is going to happen in 7 minutes from now. So I'll see you guys there, where we are going to be talking about if Mexico is ever going to get too expensive to live in. And it seems like, just by today's exchange rate at the moment, and you see that thing tanking, it's, it might be here sooner than we think. So stay tuned for all that action, all right? So I'll see you guys in a few minutes, all right?